I'm scared. First day fit check. Sup, I'm literally in my car right now waiting in the parking garage to get out because all 200 people in my year are trying to get out right now, so I cannot reverse out of my parking spot. And hopefully nobody sees me talking to myself in my car, because that'd be kind of weird. I'm just gonna pretend I'm FaceTiming someone, I guess. But yeah, today was like really chill actually. We only had like one actual class. So today we had patient symptoms presentation. It was pretty basic. We were just talking about like what's a sign versus a symptom, old carts, which is this mnemonic for figuring out what's wrong with the patient, and other stuff like that. And then we had 2 sessions of osteopathic clinical practice. It's like a really chill class, and it seems to be more about like basically telling us what we have to do for the next 4 years, like kind of guiding us. So the first session was about self-care, like you know, maintaining work-life balance kind of thing. And then the second session was basically like the path through medical school, I guess. So like kind of an overview of what we're going to be up to for the next 4 years. So like what classes we're taking, the timeline for when you take boards, and also do clinicals and apply for residency. So yeah, that class is really chill. The one downside is that attendance is required, which kind of sucks because I feel like it's definitely more informational and less like educational per se. So like it's stuff that you should know, but it's not like stuff we need to know for like being a doctor per se. So it definitely would be better if it was like virtual, because then I could just like speed up the VOD, because it's definitely more easily absorbed. It's not like actual lecture classes where I have to take notes and make sure I understand what's going on and that kind of stuff. So it kind of sucks that we have to be there in person, but it's okay. I'm probably gonna try to go in person to most of my classes anyway. I have a couple videos that I need to edit and get out soon-ish, and study-wise, I mostly just want to review and organize my notes from today's lecture from patient symptoms presentations, and then I'm probably going to do my first pass of studying through it. So either I'm going to do like active recall, or I'm going to check my Anki deck. I got an Anki deck from one of my friends who just recently graduated from the school, so I'll check and see if his deck has this lecture on it. And I'm also thinking of working out today. I was originally thinking of going to the rec center on campus, but I'm not wearing workout clothes right now, so I might just do like some exercises in my room. My apartment has a gym, but they're supposed to be like expanding it, and they haven't done that yet, so I don't even know if I can use it. And I'm not even sure there's like weights in there. Like I saw treadmills, but I don't know if there are any free weights. So that's my plan more or less for the rest of the day. I'll see you guys in a bit. Back in my apartment. I forgot, we got our IDs today. Here's what my ID picture looks like. Honestly, kind of bad. The guy gave a countdown, but somehow I still like didn't smile at the right time, and he wasn't able to let me retake it. So yeah, I look like I am afraid. Okay, so I finished my video and uploaded it. Go watch it right now if you haven't yet. And then I made some dinner. So the plan when I went to the grocery store was to get Alfredo sauce and fettuccine to make fettuccine Alfredo, but for some reason they didn't have fettuccine noodles, so I got elbow instead. So yeah, but yeah, I spent like the past like 3-4 hours editing my video and doing all that stuff, so I'm gonna have to lock in later. I need to review my notes and make my own deck later and then study it, and I'll finally get to use my Anki remote. It's so cute. I love how small it is. It's so funny. Gamer moment. I ended up with 2 giant containers full of pasta. How did this happen? I just finished making my Anki cards and studying them, and honestly, it was a nightmare. First of all, making the cards took so long, and I also low-key didn't know anything. So, but hopefully it'll get better over time. Unrelated, but I'm also like low-key sick right now. Like since yesterday, my throat has been hurting for some reason, which first of all is terrible timing because first day of class, but I've been drinking this sparkling water. This is the only sparkling water I like. It's actually so good. Costco, of course. It's lychee flavor, and it actually tastes like stuff as opposed to LaCroix, which doesn't taste like anything and is mostly just like low-key sour because carbon dioxide, I guess. Yeah, this is really good. If I recall correctly, drinking fizzy drinks actually helps with a sore throat, and it was actually helping. Like when I was drinking it, my throat actually felt a bit better. but now it's starting to hurt again. So yeah, all of this took way too long, so I didn't actually have time to work out like I planned. And part of that was probably because I was working on my video for like at least 4 hours. Hopefully studying is better tomorrow, and I'll have some more free time, and then I will actually work out tomorrow. Okay, that's all from me for today. Hey guys, I've had a really frustrating day, and it had nothing to do with my classes. My classes were like pretty chill and easy, I guess. I had 4 different lectures in foundations, and like I said, that class is like pretty chill. It's more just like stuff we should know like as physicians, and not so much like actual like academic information. So it was like easy, like whatever. It's just like so boring sometimes. Like they're just talking at us for hours at a time, and I had 4 of them today. So collectively like 4 hours of that. And then we had one like actual class. It was our first OMM lecture, and I'm gonna have my first OMM lab tomorrow, so I'll tell you guys a bit more about that tomorrow. And yeah, that OMM lecture was also pretty chill. It was just kind of the history of osteopathic medicine. But yeah, so I had my classes, it was fine, and then they had an org fair right after, and so all the clubs that are part of the medical school, they had tables out. And I talked to a bunch of people. I signed up for like pretty much every club I was interested in. So like Student Gov, the Students Osteopathic Medicine Association. There's like a Women in Healthcare one. There were 2 that were really interesting. It was like one club about underserved populations, and then another about, I think it's called correctional medicine. It's basically like if you're a doctor in a prison. And I've never heard of any org in that area before, so that sounded really interesting, so I also signed up for that. And there were a couple like clinic volunteer oriented ones that I'm also thinking of volunteering for. So in total, I think I signed up for like 7 clubs. But yeah, it's more just to keep my options open. I'm probably not gonna like actually do all of them, obviously, but I'll probably attend some events from each of them. But yeah, so there's that. So the thing that's been irritating me, so okay, gross warning, but my toilet has been low-key broken since like last week. It's like not flushing properly. I've only been living here for like a week, 2 weeks, and I've already encountered so many issues. Like my AC being broken right before I got here. Kind of get it, because like nobody could really have foresawn that, and it also happened on a Friday, so you know, timing wise it was right before the weekend, so then the maintenance person couldn't come and fix it until the Monday. But I've also had other issues like ants. The part that I'm most irritated by is just like how like bad the management is at responding to problems. Like, come on. I'm like literally, I'm begging these people, like, please just do your job. I'm like not even trying to be like demanding or anything. It's just like, I need a place to shit, okay? Like, please. But yeah, and then the other thing that's been like kind of irritating me is like, obviously it's annoying because like I have class and I have to wake up early the next day, but it's just like, it just feels unreasonable, you know? Like, why do you have to be so loud outside like so late at night? Like, if they were in their apartment it'd be fine, but they're literally outside. Like, surely I'm not the only person who's being bothered by all of this yelling. Yeah, so I had trouble falling asleep last night again. It's just so annoying. And I'm also annoyed because like, why am I talking about this right now? This video should be about my first week of med school, not my first week living in a crappy apartment. Like, the apartment is like mostly okay, and I like it, but then all these problems are cropping up, and then it's just exasperated by the fact that the people who are supposed to be taking care of it just like aren't. And like, again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm complaining a lot, because like I understand like, okay, stuff comes up where like, okay, this dude was busy, so that's why he couldn't come right away, but then he just like didn't come at all. And I'm not like necessarily blaming him for like not coming at all. I'm low-key feel like the management person just like forgot to call him, because again, they've proven that they're unreliable. Yeah, that was my rant. I hope you enjoyed. I'm getting kind of worked up now. But yeah, when I came back from class, I did my Anki cards, and then I made some more Anki cards from the lecture for today. So I gotta go study that in a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much all the schoolwork I had to do. But yeah, tomorrow morning I have OMM lab. Kind of sucks because it's at 8:10, so I have to wake up earlier than usual. 8 a.m. classes are just like not it. And luckily we don't have too many of them, but for OMM lab, it's split into 2 groups, and I was in the earlier group, so sucks to suck, I guess. There's that class, and then I have like a 3-hour break, and then I have another foundations lecture. I'm probably gonna end up coming home for lunch because 3-hour break. It is a little bit annoying though, because again, foundations is required attendance, so I have to go back to campus for this 150-minute class. I'm probably just gonna come back so I can like edit my video. Also, I was debating whether or not I would go home this weekend, because I have like a half day on Thursday basically. Like I have 2 classes in the morning and that's it. And I was kind of like, oh, like I haven't actually stayed like a full weekend here yet, other than when I first moved in. Maybe I should, but like this stuff with my toilet is pissing me off, so I'm probably gonna end up going home. Like I said, OMM lab tomorrow, and that'll be my first day of wearing scrubs, so that'll be fun. But yeah, that's all I had for now. I'm gonna go study and shower. Oh, I forgot. I'm also annoyed because one of the buttons on my Anki controller is not working. And I don't understand because I don't even know how to explain this. Like when I press it, it like technically is like typing a letter on the keyboard. So like when I press it, it like types the letter. So I know like the button itself is working, but like in Anki itself, it does not work. And I checked like my keybinds, I like undid them and then reset them. And like it should be working, but it's just not. And I don't understand. My catchphrase for today is just like, why won't the stuff that's supposed to work just work how it's supposed to? Like, bro. I had OMM lab today. It was okay. Honestly, it's like kind of hard, which I guess I expected. Like, so basically we were learning about landmarks, which are like parts of the body that you can feel, and then it will like be a point of reference for you. So we did stuff like posterior and anterior, so like the back of the head, the occipital, and then like all the way down to like the hip, and then like stuff with the knee and stuff. And okay, first of all, like they don't give us enough time at all to like practice stuff, which really sucks. So you have to do a lot of like outside practice, and it's hard because like obviously we're doing this for the first time, and if you like show someone how to do something like in like a chemistry lab, like it's pretty cut and dry. Like, okay, you gotta fill like 10 milliliters of this one chemical and then you mix it with this other chemical or like whatever, and it's like very clear. But for this, obviously it's based like on touch, so you can watch someone do it and like know approximately, and they'll like explain, okay, like you could figure it out by like feeling this part, and then like it's 45 degrees like this way, but like you can't feel it, so it's hard to tell and know like what you're supposed to be feeling. So like at the end of lab, after we practiced like the different landmarks and stuff, it was basically like an exit ticket question kind of thing. So they asked each of us to like find something, and okay, bro moment. So I was supposed to find the fibular head, which is like, imagine you're like on your knee, and then like to the side, like the outside part of your knee, like a little bit lower, there's like a bone, and that's like the tip of your fibula. But here's the thing, I heard fibula and I was thinking femur, so I was looking at the greater trochanter, which is the head of the femur, like at the top, like near your hip. So I started doing that, and I did all the stuff that you're like supposed to do, like feel it, and then while I was doing it, the person was like, that's not the fibular head, but okay. And I was like, wait, bruh, I know what the actual fibular head is. And then so I went down to the knee, and you like have someone like bend their knee so it's easier to feel, and you kind of like pinch like this on the fibular head, and then when you let them extend it, you can like make sure you got the right thing. And then he was impressed because he was like, actually a lot of even 4th years have trouble finding this, but you found it. So we're just gonna pretend the first part didn't happen. I definitely didn't confuse the femur and the fibula. At the end, we also learned some techniques, like some adjustments. Honestly, I don't think I've learned it properly. So we did one thing where it was like you lift the head, and it's like you're like trying to release tension in the neck, and then so you like hold the head and you like kind of pull on it a little bit, and it'll like release the tension like back here. And then there's another thing where you like pull on the muscles like on the back of the neck here. I'm not sure if I actually learned it properly yet. It didn't feel like I was actually doing anything. And then the other thing we learned was stuff on the back. So basically you like you find the spine, and then you like press on the muscles that are like right like next to the spine. So this is the spine, so you press, and this like the muscles like here, and then you basically you go like this, like on the muscles like parallel to the spine, and then you like push in, and then you go like this, and you'll feel like some resistance, and when you feel resistance, you like gently like move the muscles back. I feel like explaining it to you guys will probably help me learn it better. Like I understand like theoretically, but I just like can't tell by like feeling if I'm actually doing a thing properly. And it's also just like kind of weird and awkward sometimes if you're like, because we practice on each other, you're like learning and you're like, oh, like I don't know like what I'm touching, like blah blah blah. It's like kind of weird, but I think like once we get more used to it, it'll be okay. But yeah, I am excited for this class because it's definitely stuff that like is useful in your day-to-day life. Like people always talk about how like they learn like this neck massage thing and then they teach it to their friends to have them do it on them because it helps like their neck too. So that's cool. And I do plan on practicing this with my friends and family when I see them. But yeah, I had a 3-hour break between OMM lab and my next class. So came back for lunch and I'm gonna edit my video a bit and maybe do some Anki cards. Not maybe, definitely do some Anki cards. Also, by the way, my scrubs are so comfortable. Like, I'm a big fan of scrubs, honestly, because I don't have to pick out what to wear. And honestly, they look kind of good. Like, they're like, ooh, you look professional and doctory. But yeah, gonna go do some work now. What's up? I'm wearing my scrubs. It's the next day. Just a recap of the rest of yesterday. My toilet finally got fixed, so yay. I went to a foundations lecture. I made some Anki cards for OMM. I say some, but it was definitely at least like 50 to 100 cards, so that was fun. So just working on studying those. I need to practice the landmarks more because some of them I'm not really sure how to find, or I'm like not 100% confident. But yeah, I just came back from class. I had 2 classes today. So I had patient symptoms presentation. We talked about skin lesions, and I'm not gonna lie, the lecture was like making me itchy because I have eczema. So I'm just like constantly itchy by default, like no matter what. I'm literally itchy on my face right now and I'm resisting the urge to scratch it. So they showed us a bunch of different kinds of lesions and looking at them, looking at all the different skin lesions that look really itchy and scratchy and red, it was like low-key giving me hives. It was giving me like psychological hives. And then after that, I had an hour break. So me and a couple friends, we went to the Narcan training session that they were having. It was this optional presentation where they teach you how to use Narcan, which is used for drug overdose. And I actually learned about Narcan when I took my EMT class, so I knew how to use it. But they're having Narcan that anyone can carry around and use if they encounter or like know someone who uses drugs. And it's like really easy. You kind of just like push this syringe, it sprays it like up their nose, and it'll help them recover if they're overdosing. So yeah, that was chill too. And then the other class I had was physical exam skills. So that's where you learn how to do like a physical exam. Okay, first of all, that class and OMM have a lot of professors in it. I'm not even kidding. There were like 20 doctors in that room because we break up into smaller groups. And so the first like 30 minutes was just like everyone introducing themselves and then like an introduction to the class. And then we broke out into our smaller groups and we talked about the basics of a physical exam. So just like the initial part, which is like introducing yourself and that stuff. So like you enter the room, you introduce yourself, you ask the patient what they want to be called, you wash your hands, and then some principles of physical exams like consent before contact. That's like a catchphrase they like to use. So, you know, making sure the patient is okay with you examining them. And also instead of saying like touch or feel, you say inspect, check, or examine. So it's more medical and not like, because you know, if you say like, I'm gonna touch your whatever, it sounds kind of weird. So you want to say, I'm gonna inspect this, or like, is it okay if I inspect this? And then we learned this thing, which is like percussing. So what you do is like you take like your 2 fingers or like your hand and you place it wherever you're percussing, and then you take your other 2 hands and it's like curved and you use the pads of your fingers to like hit your hand. So if you're against like the stomach, or honestly you could do this on like a surface too, like just like on the table, and you'll hear like loud, and that's the sound of the actual like table or like the stomach or whatever that you're examining. So we use it to see if there's like, for example, fluid in the lungs. If you do that like on someone's lungs and it's like full of air, it'll sound different than if it's full of fluid. So that's what I learned today. I'm gonna head home soon. I just need to like pack up my stuff. I got a bunch of Anki cards I gotta make today, so I will be locking in later. But yeah, that's all from me for now. So I'll see you guys later. Hello. So it's been a long time since I filmed that vlog. It's been like 10 months and a lot has happened since then. So as you probably figured out, I didn't really have time to edit during my school year. Like shit hit the fan real quick. I managed to film for about like the first 3-ish weeks of med school. So I have a couple more vlogs coming out after this one. But then I started getting really busy and I couldn't edit anymore, which is why this vlog isn't coming out until now. And honestly, it just kind of sucks because I was planning on kind of being able to capture my entire med school experience, and I kind of just got like the first 3 weeks of my first year and nothing else. But I do plan on talking about it a bit more in a future video. It just sucks that I don't have much vlog footage that details the true med school experience that I had. The full scope from being a little noob who didn't know anything to all the stuff I've learned. And I have learned a lot, arguably too much. And yet somehow I still don't know anything. But it was fun editing this video and just looking back at my first impressions of the classes I was having, and also insane too because at that point I hadn't even started my harder classes like anatomy, biochem, physiology. And I just think it's really funny that I said that OMM was hard, which, not to say that it's not, but it's just funny to me considering how little effort I put into that class as time went on. Like, we had quizzes every week, and it got to the point where like sometimes I wouldn't really even study for them. So yeah, it's just the slow descent into madness. But more on that in a future video. But yeah, that was a vlog of my first week of med school. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.